Youth sports question, and hopefully this isn't too confusing. My son's third grade little league team has a 5-run rule to prevent an inning from getting out of control. However, in the last inning of the game, let's say you've scored 4 runs and the bases are loaded and you hit a grand slam. They won't cut it off at 5. They'll allow the 4 runs to count. But again, that's just in the last inning. Okay, we're following. So in this scenario, in my son's game, 4 runs were in, bases were loaded, and the lead was 2. The coach then intentionally walked in the run to hit the 5-run rule to end the inning and the game with a 1-run win. Again, this is third grade. Is this smart managing or a lame way to win?
Let me ask this question. Is this All-Stars or is this regular season?
We don't have that information. Julian, if write us back, I mean...
Because I will say this.
It's third grade.
Yeah. If this is an all-star tournaments, which I can't imagine, it could be. So what are they, 9 years old?
9 years old, probably.
8, 9 years old. So it should be kid pitch. So if it's all-stars, listen, I'm doing anything to win in all-stars. I was a part of it with Cole. We intentionally...
Even at this age?
Absolutely. In all-stars. Which is important.
Right, which is the higher level.
You're higher. You're trying to win to advance, whatever, and the rules are the rules. Is it Bush League? Abso-fucking-lutely. But I would do it in All-Stars. Now, in the regular season, I mean, I would probably go up to the coach and be like, what the fuck are we doing here, buddy? Yeah. But I have no problem with that in All-Stars.
So
or playoffs. I'm trying to win, dude. I'm teaching my kids that we will win. And if there a rule, you follow the rule. That's like whatever.
Now, I agree with you. Like the win at all costs thing, I do think it's gotten away from us a little bit over the years with, no one won. It was a tie. Like teaching your kids how to lose is just as important as teaching your kids how to win. I had a thing happen with my 6-year-old in soccer. He was doing really well. One of the kids on the other team didn't really love that and like kind of swung at him. It was a wild scene. I won't get fully into the details. Here's my problem with it, Matt. Even at the all-star level, at that age, don't you want your team to simulate the experience once that rule goes away when they get older? And that rule will go away when they start getting into 10, 11, 12 baseball, if they still love it. Don't you want your kids to feel, even at all-star level, feel that stress of you're on the mound, bases loaded, 2-run lead, work yourself out of this? And don't you want the other team to get the chance to get the at-bat with the bases loaded and a chance to walk off? You're robbing that experience. You're taking that's a real baseball experience, dude. You can't be like,
it's not a real baseball experience because there's limited runs. This isn't real baseball. That you can't.
But they will play real baseball.
Yeah,
one
so
day
like
that
when
rule
they play,
won't be available.
Yeah, so then you cross that bridge when they get there. I literally dealt with this shit in All-Star Baseball. We had scenarios where it's like, well, the time. We had a kid, someone was telling me the other day, maybe it was you telling me, I don't know, someone's like, we have 6 minutes left before no new inning. So let's fucking milk it. Our coaches would go out and talk to the pitchers for like a minute and the ump would say, what?
That's
you would just
crazy. How old are we talking for that? How old are we talking?
All-Stars, dude, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I think
regular
that
season
is crazy.
No. Regular season, you let the games play. Now, this was Little League playoffs. I'm trying to win. Now, am I going to 3-2, bottom of the ninth, there's 1 runner on? But if there's rules and you can kind of bend the rules and figure it out, then you milk the clock as much as you can so they don't get that last at bat. By the way, they just did that in my son's and Kaysen's 5 and 6-year-old shit, which I was pissed. I was like, because, dude, we're technically not even keeping score.
Right.
At that age, I don't care. But 9 years old, it's real kid pitch. But if it's a regular season game, it's Bush League. If it's playoffs, I get it.
I think it's corny. I think that
I don't disagree with you.
I think you're actually telling your team, we're not good enough to get out of this situation, so let's win on a technicality. To me, you're telling the team of young kids, I don't think we're good enough to get out of this situation. So let's walk in the guy, get the 1-1.
By the way, there was a Oregon versus Ohio State last year. I'm going to butcher what happened, but there was a technicality, and this is at the highest level of college football. It was 1 versus 2. Oregon sent 12
I
men on
remember
the
this.
field
Yeah, I
for
remember
whatever
this. They
reason
got a
because
flag. Yeah.
they got a flag, but the clock ran out. It was like one of these things. They were so smart that based on a technicality, they intentionally did that. They eventually won the game because the clock ran out for Ohio State.
How did that work out for long term for Oregon?
It doesn't matter.
Who won the national championship?
In the moment, they didn't believe in their defense. So to your point, your point is a moot point. It doesn't mean anything. People are doing that at all levels.
I think that it's important for that kid on the mound to potentially give up a bases clearing double that ends the game, and then you got to deal with that kid handling that loss.
You probably believe in participation trophies as well.
No, I think it's the opposite. I think you're doing a part. I think that's doing a participation trophy. Hey, we got this 1-run lead. We can actually end the game now and not play. We could not play.
If the game is
They're
important,
not playing.
If the game is important, whether it's all-stars, and again, like big picture, 8-9-year-old all-stars.
I think that's more a participation trophy than playing it out straight up and let's see who wins.
You win in advance. You win in advance. That's actually being very smart. That's smart coaching.
It's
if
smart
it matters.
coaching. Does it teach the kids anything?
I mean, are we really teaching the kids anything?
They're in 3rd grade. Like, this is why I think it's more participation trophy. Are we trying? Why? Because we don't want, like, what if the kid strikes out with the bases loaded?
Then he strikes out. But what if
I'm saying is, like,
what if
why,
he hits a fucking
why not
gapper and scores all 3 and you lose?
Why not give, like, we're losing the opportunity for the real world part of sports, which is winning and losing. And you're just saying, hey, we got this 1-run lead and there's a dumb rule. So this way we could keep the game moving. Let's end the game and not play it out. They're not playing the game out. They end it. I think that's like the opposite of participation. So let's move on. Julian, buddy, I would get that rule. The last inning should be the last inning. Whatever happens in the last inning happens. I hate that rule, Matt.
I don't mind. I do too. I don't mind it. And I'm just telling you, we've done stuff where we've milked the clock. And again, we've had that against us and we're pissed. But I'm like, but if it's like a regular season Little League game on a Wednesday night and everyone's like, I'm like, no, you just play the game. You let them experience, you play the game. And then in the playoffs, you really start to, we did this in All-Stars every summer, dude. You have to be ready. And Ohio State, Oregon's a perfect example of a technicality, and it won the game for them in the regular season. It was a massive game. And so everyone talked about it for a week.
If there's like one out,
play chess, not checkers.
Right. But so then are you saying then, like, with the other coach, it would have been smarter for the other coach to maybe have one of their base runners get thrown out so the bases weren't loaded? Therefore, the threat of it being, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, you're taking away the kids actually playing the game. If you're at the major league level, do what you got to do. Fine. You're playing for millions of dollars and all that. Fine. Exploit the rules. You want to do hack-a-shack? Fine. Exploit the rules.
You're thinking about like the emotions of the game for these kids.
I'm thinking like I would want my kid or whatever to be like, hey, you're on the mound. You have a chance to win a crazy game and let's see what you got. Or the kid at bat, like, you have a chance to hit a walk-off in a big game. Let's see what you got. And if you strike out, we'll deal with it. Instead, it's like, no, intentional walk.
Can we move on to Nissan? Let's move on to Nissan, bro.
I can't believe I bored you with this.
I mean, it's like beating a dead horse, bro. We're just talking in circles. I hear you.